Last week, Nata had mentioned that the registration for Nata 2023 exams would be beginning from 20th of March. So as promised, Nata has today opened up their portal and you can start registering for Nata 2023. Hello, everyone. This is Suraj, your THiNC, and in this short video, we would be looking at some of the updates related to Nata and also briefly touching through what exactly Nata exam is, the type of questions that's asked, how does the mark card look like, and things like that. So to start off with, if you go to Nata's website, I would request the host to please share the Nata's official website in the live chat box. So if you go to Nata's website, on the right-hand side top corner, you can find Nata 2023 registration link. If you click on that, you can go ahead and create a profile of yourselves and start applying for the exam. Before going on to those details, I would also like to shed some light on the fact that there has been a slight change in the dates of Nata exam. As you are already aware, there will be 3 Nata exams this year, just like how it was last year. But this year, dates for Nata 2, 3 remains the same. But for Nata 1, it was actually 22nd of April. But last Saturday, they had changed it to 21st of April. So please note the new dates are as given on the right-hand side of this particular PPT. 21st of April would be Nata 1, 28th of May would be Nata 2, and 9th of July, that is almost after a gap of 1.5 months, you will have Nata 3. I think that's quite strategically placed so that you can also decide on which exams you can write, which Nata you should write, because you can take that decision even now. Because basically, depending upon the number of attempts, your marks also varies. The average, how they take the average and things like that also varies. We would look at that also in the coming slides. Now, when we are talking about Nata is the exam that is mainly used by almost all the states for taking students into their B.Arch programs. So it is very, very important and pertinent that you write Nata exams. Even in prestigious colleges like CEPT University in Ahmedabad, all of these institutions take in students via Nata. So it is the most and ultimate exam that's directly conducted by Council of Architecture. Please note, we have our batches. First set of batches that have been started from the 20th, that is today. Both online and offline have been started today. If you still want to join, you can join. There are students, I think, in the CBSE syllabus and all who have their exams going on. So considering all of that, we also have new batches from the 29th of March and also on the 3rd of April. So if you have any doubts, queries about all these things, you can contact any of the numbers that are given on the bottom, that is 8086 111 216 or 8086 111 044. Now, coming to Nata 1, the exam is on 21st of April. You can start registering right from today. The end of registration for first Nata is 10th of April. Now, you can also register for your second Nata and third Nata now. You can do it all together in one go also. But you also have the option of doing it later on. Now, what is the advantage if you do it later on? The thing is, if you're writing only one Nata, if you have decided that you're going to write either Nata 1, 2, or 3, then it doesn't matter. You can do it right now. But if you're writing any 2, then it will be the best of those 2 scores that would be taken. So you will have to decide on which are the 2 Nata exams that you're going to write. And if you're going to write all the 3, again, there isn't much to think about it. Average of the best 2 scores would be taken. So depending upon how many times you're going to write the Nata exam, your decision varies. So if you're not sure how many times you're going to attempt this year, it's always better if you are if you are applying for only the one that you're very sure right now. Later on, you still have option to register for the second and third Nata. So if you're writing first Nata, the next 20 days is where in which you will have to register. Please note that. Sundar is asking, is drawing there this time? So this time also, like previous year and the year before, there is no drawing section. It will be purely aptitude-based question. We'll come to that in the coming slides, the pattern of Nata and all. Okay. Now, 2 important criteria that you need to note when you're trying to get into B.Arch. Number 1, if you have to take Nata, there is certain eligibility criteria. So you need to ensure that you have done either your 12th standard or your diploma. If you're doing your 12th standard, or if you've completed 12th standard, you should have taken physics, chemistry, and mathematics. If you have done that, well and great, you are eligible to write Nata exam. On the contrary, if you are doing your 10+3 diploma, or if you have completed your 10+3 diploma, you will have to have maths as an compulsory subject. So these are the 2 different criteria for different students. If you are not If you have not done that, then you won't be eligible. The second criteria is for B.Arch. Meanwhile, I had a question from Khadija Pida. Date of birth 2003 vare ullu. Yes, Khadija, currently there is no age or age criteria that Nata has mentioned categorically in the brochure. But very interestingly, when you're trying to log in, students beyond who are born before 2003 are not able to register. So we'll have to wait and see probably for 1 or 2 days why exactly that is happening. Okay, it's a very good point mentioned by Khadija. Now, the first criteria, I already discussed Nata's criteria. That is, if you want to write Nata, if you're a 12th standard or 12th standard completed student, PCM is must. If you're a diploma, then Max is must. B.Arch eligibility criteria. So Nata is an exam that is used by a lot of courses. Other than this one, some of the colleges also consider this for B.Des eligibility. So when we're talking about B.Arch specifically, if you want to get into B.Arch, as per Council of Architecture's criteria, if you are a 12th standard or 10+2 going student, you need to have 50% aggregate. That is combining all the subjects together. You should have at least 50%, and you should also have 50% in physics, chemistry, and mathematics combined together. This is the first criteria. If you're somebody who is doing diploma or completed diploma, again, Maths is compulsory and 50% aggregate. That is all the subjects put together. The marks that you've got divided by the total marks, it should be 50%. So either of the criteria is very, very important. Depending upon which way you have completed your schooling, please ensure that you are eligible, because you need to fulfill both the criteria. If you are somebody who want to do B.Arch, then you should be eligible to take Nata. You should also be eligible to do B.Arch. So these two criteria, this slide and the previous slide, is the most important slide that you should be clear about. Because if you haven't cleared that, it is pointless to write the exam. Okay. Now, as I said, we have our new batches that are coming up from 29th, 3rd April and all. If you want further details, you can contact these numbers that are given below. Now, as I said earlier, if you go to Nata's website, on the right top corner, you can click on Nata 2023 registration. There will be a link on the right hand side, and you can go to the new registration portal. You can click on that. In the new registration portal, you have to give your basic details. Now, this is the point that Khadija was talking about. Date of birth, you only have up till 2003. So what happens beyond that is questions. We'll have to wait. We'll have to wait for a couple of more days. Okay, for a little bit more clarity to come up. But again, as I said, it is one of the most important exams from CEPT University to the local colleges in the state. All of them would be considering Nata. The rest of them would obviously be considering JEE paper 2 B.Arch. That is, NITs and CFTIs would be considering that. Okay, we'll do a detailed video on how to register and things like that. At least create a profile and keep it. Okay, to talk briefly about Nata, usually you have 125 questions, maximum marks is 200. I will also show at the end how the mark card looks like. Okay, how the scorecard of Nata looks like. Now, there won't be any negative marks. It's a good thing. It's a very positive thing. So you can go full throttle in that. 3 types of marking: 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark. And most of the questions would be in English, and all questions would be in English. And if you want, some questions would also be in regional language. These are the types of questions that they ask. MCQs and all, I think you would be familiar. MCQs, MSQs, and numerical type questions, match the following and all is very familiar, I think. The only difference that has come up, the only new type of question might be preferential, but Nata has been doing preferential choice type of questions also. We'll elaborate in the coming slide, in the coming videos and all, what exactly that is. Okay. To everyone who is focusing on KEAM, that is KEAM B.Arch, that is colleges in Kerala, you need to apply for Nata. It is very, very important. Along with that, you also need to apply for KEAM. Through KEAM, you need to give your course as B.Arch. Otherwise, you won't be able to get it. Okay. Now, this is how exactly the results look like. Okay, this is just a screenshot of one of our students' scorecard. So this is the previous year's scorecard. So she had written both the Nata's first and second test. She had got 161. And she qualified with the score of 161. Okay, so this is how the scorecard would look like. If you have written only one in this, okay, if you've written only one in this, it will be mentioned here 161. If you write all 3, first, second, and third, then that also would be visible. And in that, the top 2 will be taken. Average of that would be mentioned here as the qualifying score. Okay, so this is basically how the Nata scorecard looks like. Okay, so these are the major things that we had to highlight about all these things. If you have any further questions, you can contact us at the number that's provided. And if you want previous year questions of JEE or Nata and all, you can WhatsApp us at 808611 933. Any further questions, please do not hesitate to post it below this particular video, or you can also shoot a message or WhatsApp or call us at the numbers that are given in the chat box. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, host.